Looks like that SAO Goblin Slayer collab finally happened. Integrity Knight Alice is back. So what's up guys, Foxen here. SAO Alicization War of Underworld episode 2. Such a great episode. So if you loved it too, smash that like, ring the bell, and let's dive into this SAO episode. Starting this off, Kirito. So even in this potato state, this guy is still desperately trying to reach out for his weapon. It really seems to be Kirito on instinct. The poor dude still has this fighting spirit somewhere in there. Then switching it to Alice. I like how Alice was extremely quick to get her sword and armor, no hesitation. Go, my blue eyes white dragon. So about the Goblin Slayer SAO tie-in. Although don't worry, these goblins don't like grapes. They simply want to go stabby stabby and then chop you up into delicious meat. Then for Alice jumping down like a freaking boss. It really reminded me of Rogers doing the same in Captain America Winter Soldier. Did someone order the Alice special?
Superhero landing!
And come on, you were thinking it too. Side note, I was really loving the detail on Alice's braid here. As for the clown's long-lost relative over here, my god does this guy have some grapefruit-sized balls. Let me not only ignore, but also argue back to this mysterious blonde, the one who just jumped down from the fricking sky. I don't know whether to applaud this dude or just call him stupid. I guess money is a great motivator. But get this, you have the plump bastard finally revealing his true slimy colors. Oh, it was that dreaded blonde bimbo witch. Alice must have been like, thanks buddy. That was after all the countless favors that Alice freaking did for him. Great memory for this guy too, recalling young Alice crossing over to the dark territory side. But if you actually think about it, let's actually be glad that Alice is an integrity knight, or at least someone with actual power or authority. Otherwise, I could really see everyone else siding with this bastard. Of course, except Selka. And you really have to love Alice this episode. Oh, did you say something? Bitch, please. I'm Alice, an integrity knight. And hopefully you noticed she did happen to sneak in rank 3rd in there. Come on buddy, go ahead and bow down to me. For the animation here, very nice notice with the sobbing Selka, then the transition over to the smiling pirate Alice. I mean, you even had Alice's papa falling in line. To me, it really seemed like this guy was relieved at this turn of events. I mean, not only because they got protected by Alice, but Alice's supposed punishment really being the opposite of what it initially seemed like. As for the bite-sized monsters here, of course you have the goblins. You saw a bunch of these back in that ice cave in like episode 4. Now you also have some orcs here too. So hey guys, after I end this, let's go ahead and celebrate with some bacon. For Alice here, go my blue eyes, use burst stream on those goblins. Too bad that Alice doesn't have 2 more of those. That would have been fun. And trust me, I did like the anime version of this, although it would have been nice to see Alice with Amayori right behind her. Oh well. Fun fact about the Underworld dragons, unfortunately they can't keep shooting out those lasers constantly, which is why you had Amayori on a little bit of a cooldown. In the middle of all of this, did you notice? It looks like Moneybag still had his priorities in line. Such dedication. But anyway, back to Alice. You really had Alice showing off here. It really was like this level 100 player versus some low level newbies. Watch, Alice probably didn't get any XP from them. Although it seems like these guys really came to just wipe out the whole town. At least in the anime version, there seemed to be hundreds of them. You know, Funatio and her Bankai would be real useful about now. And then talking about the monsters over here, did you notice this orc guy over here? That one should have been like a walking bag of XP. No one kill steal that one. Anyway, getting into another standout moment from the episode. Integrity Knight Alice is officially back to 100%. There have been so many questions from some of you about why Alice just didn't heal her eye. The truth is, via Sacred Arts, Alice could have done that easily at any moment, but she purposely held off doing so. At least for some time, it was Alice's cross to bear. The light novel version of Alice here had a few more thoughts. She actually thought back to Quinella. Quinella had created Alice's Integrity Knight body, and that practice was almost a sin unto itself. By trying to control the whole human empire power, and then concentrating that into a few puppet knights, that really only led to Quinella's own loss of humanity and then eventual death. Ultimately, this leads into Alice's progression. She was now determined to use his power as a knight for all Underworld citizens. You know, similar to Yuji and Kirito. This right here is a huge progression forward. Back in episode 1, she really only had a handful of people she really cared for in the actual town. And oh my god, is that a Gia's reference? Or Sharingan for Boruto Papa fans? Then, for Alice thanking Kirito, there was actually a little bit more to this. Actually specified in the light novel was how Alice's purpose in life post-Quinella. That really only one thing that was keeping her going was her caring for Kirito. No real other motivation existed to keep on living. Alice realized that she thought she was taking care of Kirito, but as the cloth disappeared, it actually might have been the other way around, Kirito helping her. But seriously, you really don't want to mess with the pissed off Alice. It sure has been a while, Alice unleashing her Bankai, or I guess Shikai in this case. All of this really seemed like the storm of golden shuriken, completely overpowered for these weak-ass monsters. Winner, the mother of dragon, and you really have to love that dragon transition. Talking about Amayori, this scene was really nice, seeing that birdie on top. These dragons must be the gentle giants of the Underworld. And did you notice, Amayori is back with Integrity Knight gear too. So after the Rulet village attack aftermath, several things were left out from the anime. First off, the casualties not mentioned. In total, about 20 people died, and then a funeral was held a few days later. Somehow, Moneybag survived this incident. Then something cut out from Alice. Alice actually went back to inspect the cave where the Dark Territory army crossed over. This time Alice actually flooded the cave, then completely froze the whole area. No one on the Dark Territory side would be able to cross over now, not unless they had someone to match Alice's sacred art skills. But back to Alice's present time, away she goes. I really love the scene of Alice just taking off while little Selka ran after her. I'm sure you've seen similar scenes before. And I do love the rich details in the SAO light novels, but text in a book really can't replace scenes like these. Anyway, back to the real world, the ocean turtle. A lot of you guys have been wondering what exactly has been going on in real life since the assault in that cliffhanger. And really, not much time has passed for Asuna and friends, barely like half an hour. And talk about Asuna, do not screw with Asuna. Never get between her and her man. Keep in mind, Kiko here has an actual black belt in judo and kendo, and the guy was about to piss himself. At this moment, I'm thinking this guy would have rather been out there than in here. Just seeing Asuna in this moment really makes me think, what would SAO be like if the fairy arc situation was reversed? Her rescuing Kirito. I guess this arc is kind of like that. And then Hika over here actually credited this to Asuna being an SAO survivor. So getting into the actual details about the ocean turtle, you're getting this fuzzy situation cleared up. So you have the bad guys taking over the main control room. Asuna and friends escape to the sub control room and then lock themselves in. Thankfully or hopefully the bad guys shouldn't try to bomb them, otherwise the light cubes may be destroyed. The bad guys right now are also in control of one soul translator room, and also the nuclear reactor on board of this turtle. What could go wrong? So right now there seems to be a lot of foul play at work. Their only possible reinforcements right now just happens to be on standby until a certain blonde is secured. Smells very, very fishy, and it's not this damn turtle boat. So yes, now ultimately it's turning into this race to capture Alice. Who's gonna capture Alice first? Gabriel Miller or Kirito? And yes, about Kirito, I swore I'd probably have close to a heart attack if I was Asuna right about now. So, you know about Kirito getting injected with poison. The good news, the dude is not dead. The bad news, the situation has gotten worse. So yes, the truth about Kirito, the dude doesn't have horrendous underworld lag. It is oversimplified, but the self-image part, Kirito's own will segment of his floodlight has been damaged. Thanks, Gabriel. So unless you get that fixed, Kirito unfortunately is going to be on permanent AFK. Then for the actual end here, nice little tease was Asuna eyeing the soul translator, plus that ring shot. You're tearing me apart, Kirito. Moving on to the post-credit, hopefully you didn't miss that. You got the Mr. Hacker dude over here and friends. Oh, the Underworld has been unlocked. And yes, the real fun is about to begin. Do expect Gabriel's backstory perhaps next episode. Oh, and did I miss something? The new ending by Lisa. A lot of you guys have been asking me about this, and you heard it last video. I've really just been loving Lisa's song. Give me the full version like now. This thing is completely Alice focused. Could this be the best ending for SAO Season 3 yet? And I'm gonna be real with you, real honest. This ending immediately got me into tears. It made me feel Alice's pain throughout this whole arc. This ending really embodies the crushed state that Alice has been in up until this point. And yes, there is a tad more into this, but that gets into very heavy spoiler territory. Stuff at the very end of this arc. If you do want to know, go ahead and post down below. Otherwise, keep on wondering. Next up, getting into the SAO light novel changes going into the anime. Honestly, very few stuff cut or changed this episode. The first thing cut originally after Integrity Knight LG found them, there was actually a next day. Throughout the day, Alice was actually getting ready to leave. She felt now that LG found her, the Knight Commander Bercoli would be coming next to see her. Alice at this point really didn't want to go back to being a knight, so she wanted to run away again with Kirito to a different location. In the anime, they just completely cut that and went into the Rulet village getting attacked. Next up, something between Alice and that lovely fellow. So during the goblin battle, even after what the guy did to her, trying to blame her, Alice still helped and pushed the guy move forward to get away. And then during this battle, slight change with Amayori. In the novel, the dragon only shot also one burst stream of destruction, but Alice then called Amayori a second time. Unfortunately, Amayori was still on cooldown, so instead she just flew down, intimidating these guys over and over. Then Alice used her ultimate move. By the way, really quickly, my full breakdown on the new SAO War of the Underworld opening is now up. There is so much hidden juicy stuff here. So much that your head would freaking explode. Go ahead and check that out next. Anyway, go ahead and post your thoughts on this episode down below. Also, what do you think about the ending, especially it being Alice focused? Where does this ending rank among all the SAO endings? That should be a tough question. Anyway, definitely check out my new opening breakdown, my My Hero Academia video, and subscribe so you don't miss my upcoming anime videos. I'll see you guys later.